Let's change a fraction to a decimal. Before we begin, see if you can remember how to do this from memory without reading the chart that I gave you. All right, I hope that you said that to change a fraction to a decimal, you just divide. So we divide the numerator by the denominator. The denominator slides over, or you could say the horse stays on the outside. The rider, the jockey, the numerator goes on the inside. How many times does 6 go into 1? 0 times. I add a decimal and a 0, and I need to bring the decimal to the top. How many times does 6 go into 10? Well, 1 time. 1 times 6 is 6. 10 minus 6 gives me 4. Add another 0 and bring it down. 6 goes into 40 6 times because 6 times 6 is 36. I bring down a 0. 6 goes into 40 6 times. I now see the pattern. 6 times 6 is 36. When I subtract, I'll get another 4, and this pattern will continue over and over again. So I know that I'm finished. And the decimal is 0.16, but you need to be careful. The 6 is the only part that repeats. The 6 is the only part that's going to go on forever. So there's 1, 1, and then there's 6's forever. So I only need the line over the 6. Don't put it over the 1. Now, from here, I need to change this to a percent, and I actually need, I forgot to do this, I need at least 3 numbers. And I'll show you why in a second. All right, so if I start typing in 0.166666 and I change it to a percent by multiplying by 100, I would get 16.6 repeated. The calculator rounds, that's why there's a 7 on the end. And that would be the same as me showing you, all right, I move the decimal twice to the right. And we need a line over this because we're not rounding. It's still going to go on forever, and we can't forget that percent sign. So to move from a decimal to a percent, you just multiply it by 100, which essentially moves the decimal 2 times to the right. And then if we want to represent 16.6 per 100, because remember cent means 100, so we're really saying per 100, then I would color in 10, and then there's 5, 16, and then 0.6 would be just partway through, just a little bit past the halfway mark, and I would color that in, and this would represent 16.6 or 16 and 2/3 per every 100. And this problem was a little bit different than the last few that we've looked at because this decimal doesn't end. This decimal is a repeating decimal, meaning it has a repeating pattern and it goes on forever. And that is called a repeating decimal.